Hi everyone and welcome back to NS2HD.
Oh, I'm sorry guys. I don't know what happened there. I'm back. Good day and welcome back to NS2HD. This is an Internal Unknown Worlds Build 162 playtest, which was played just before it was released. And of course it is released right now, so no doubt many of you are playing it, and if you're not playing it, get out there and buy Natural Selection 2 so you can play this beta and enjoy the build, which I'm going to enjoy now in this gameplay commentary. This is a massive, massive game. This game was about 78 minutes long or something. It is enormous. I'm not going to bring you the whole thing just because my voice won't be able to last for 78 minutes, no matter how small I break the parts up into. So instead, I'm going to bring you what I think will be the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes. And the reason it's taken me a long time to bring you this game was that I thought that I was going to have it in dual perspective. The big surprise I alluded to in NS2HD 104 was I recorded this game, started to do it in single perspective, but then one of the awesome playtesters who works for Unknown Worlds named Acid Rain said that he'd recorded the whole game and he was going to send the whole game to me. So I was really chuffed and we were really excited to do that, but unfortunately we had a few big encoding problems. Anyone who's worked with video encoding before knows that sometimes it all just goes horribly wrong, and that's what happened. We just couldn't get the files to play nicely on my recording rig, so unfortunately we had to bail out on that, but no doubt we will have another go at that in future. Now, on to this actual game. The first thing I've done is push into node reserves and take the extractor in there. After dropping an armory nice and close against the wall in there, I took your advice. Everyone who's commented about armory placement, about placing it well away from the middle of the room so that skulks do not have anywhere to take cover behind it. And Supernorn has arrived in West Wing just as this skulk has taken out the power node in there. And I'm going to try and get a Mac to him to repair that power node, while I've already dropped a couple of med packs, so he should be able to stay alive in there, maybe. I'm hoping so. This game was very small to start out with. It was a 3v3, but it did grow to be much bigger as it went on, and by the end of it, it was quite a hectic game. And I'm really looking forward to showing you some of the really cool strategies that were employed, and just the way the map evolved over time, where we were pushing, where they were pushing. So at the moment, in the first 10 minutes of this game, a lot of it revolves around trying to take West Wing. Because, of course, Marines have to take West Wing or Central early on in a rockdown game, otherwise they will be locked into level 1 tech, they'll only have shotguns available, and it won't go very well for them. They will inevitably lose the game, really. The aliens will just be able to grind them down. They'll have so many hives, so much technology. Well, you really say aliens have technology, do you? You'd say they have evolutions or something. Taking out Max there, getting a bit of a lucky kill there, I think. He got very, very close to me up on the platform there, and he probably could have killed me with just another half a second, but I did manage to put enough bullets in him to bring him down. Going to evacuate that Mac out there. Early on in the game, you'll find you actually have to be quite careful with your Macs. While they are free, you only have to use energy to make them. Because your command station only starts off with 50 energy, the first Mac is actually quite valuable, because if, say, you move into a room where you want to build something, but the Marines are busy actually fighting the alien team in that room, then you need that Mac to be able to start construction on, say, a sentry gun or armory or a power node or whatever it is. And of course you need the Macs to repair the power node because the Marine team can't. As usual, check out the insane lighting happening there in West Wing as the power node cuts and then is restored, and then with the flashlights. I think NS2 is one of those games where pitch black is actually pitch black. It is actually scarily dark when the power node goes out. I really like that. I haven't really seen that in any game before. That's one of the reasons I get so excited about Natural Selection. So apart from Max harassing the infantry portal early on, we haven't really seen much pressure to the Marine base, so we're being quite lucky at the moment. It looks like the aliens are really trying to hold West Wing, which is very smart of them. But in this situation, as aliens, another option is to withdraw from West Wing, but run around the other side of the map via east and attack the infantry portal in the Marine base. And if, say, 3 or 4 skulks do that at once, and the entire Marine team is held up in West Wing, then you can win the game very, very easily. Luckily, the aliens didn't try to do that. They sent the occasional harassing skulk to the infantry portal, but they didn't send more than one skulk at a time until later on in the game, so we were able to hold it. And I'm trying to put a sentry gun up here, but Supernorm was just taken out by Acid Rain, the player I was talking about earlier, and I've had to recycle that sentry gun. I recycled it there, so I didn't lose all the carbon, but I didn't get it all back either. So putting a new sentry gun down there where Cormendi is going to be able to build it up there with that Mac and hopefully start to take a foothold in West Wing, which will allow us to actually hold it and get some technology out. So when you recycle something, I believe you get the health percentage times 0.5 times the carbon cost. So there I had about 30% health, so I would have got 15% of the original cost of that turret, so about 3 carbon back. So not great, but better than nothing. Better than letting the Skulk just chew the sentry gun. And if I've got that formula wrong, please let me know in the comments. You know I read every single comment you guys post on my videos. I have them fed into my Outlook, so I read them all. Of course, I don't have the time to reply to them all, but I do read them all. So please comment away. Let me know what you've noticed in the videos, what you think needs improving. I read all these comments, and I do take your advice to heart. Supernorn going to work on the eggs there. When you're trying to kill a hive like this, and assisted by the sentry gun now, which is going to help a lot, then taking down the eggs can prevent alien reinforcements from popping out at your feet. So I've jumped out of the command station here because we have a harassing Skulk in the base. And who is it? It's Acid Rain. I'm trying to kill him. Notice I'm firing in bursts. I've tried to stop myself spraying my entire 50-round magazine into a Skulk as soon as I see them. The idea behind that is it takes about 2.5 seconds to fire an entire magazine out of the rifle, and it also takes 2.5 seconds to reload it, or something like that. And the point of me telling you that is, if you just offload your entire 50-round magazine into thin air trying to hit a Skulk, you're going to spend an equal amount of time reloading, and that's not what you want. You want to be able to put fire down on the alien as soon as they come in to your targeting reticule. So firing in controlled bursts when you don't have perfect aim, and I don't have perfect aim, and many of you obviously won't have perfect aim because we're not all pro players like some of these playtesters like Supernorn and Acid Rain in this game. If you fire in bursts, you'll find you'll actually be able to put more rounds into the alien more often. At least that's what I found. That hive has now gone down, so we are able to actually push into West Wing now and really take a foothold. I've got 2 sentry guns there, one covering the other, and only one of them vulnerable, but that's towards marine spawn, so it should be okay. I need to be dropping medpacks right about now, but I think I've only got 2 plasma. Yes, I do, and so that won't be happening. Luckily, I don't think this Lurk is going to see the second sentry gun. Let's see. One sentry gun takes out the Skulk, and then the Lurk pushes in, and yes, is caught off guard by the second sentry gun and taken out. So I was very lucky there. And another Skulk going down to that sentry gun as well. Often when I'm doing these commentaries, you'll hear me trying to figure out who people are or how much of something I have. That's because my second monitor died, it's just dead, and I have to do this on my primary monitor. And in Premiere, when you're recording a commentary like this, the preview screen is actually very small because you can't expand it to be very, very big. So that's why you might hear me being a little bit of a retard sometimes. Dropping the armory in the corner there, I've dropped it specifically there because if a Lurk comes around the corner there, they're not going to be able to gas the armory in West Wing if I place it there. And I've placed an armory there, spent that carbon because it allows my Marines to heal up and rearm forward in where the fight is, rather than having to come back to base or rely on me for health and ammo packs, which are quite expensive. If you only have 2 extractors, as we do now, you can't afford to continually spam med and ammo packs. You can only do it occasionally in the big critical fights, so you need to put armories down to support your Marines on the front line. Like Supernorn, he has retreated to that armory there to heal after the Lurk hit him. And I'm dropping a 3rd extractor down in West Wing, so that should improve our resource collection rate. That extractor is vulnerable to that Lurk though, so you see how I brought the Mac in behind the extractor to cover the Mac. So the Mac kept giving it health, and the Mac was protected by the extractor itself. And I've jumped out of the command station because I saw another Skulk coming by, but I couldn't find that Skulk, and it's only too late that I realized what that Skulk was actually doing. Remember earlier I said the second sentry gun was not protected, and that Skulk has run all the way through auxiliary node reserves, all the way behind that sentry gun and almost took it out. It was only the fact that Supernorn was there in time that saved that sentry gun. I've jumped out to engage Murphy here, trying to kill him, and yes, I will be able to kill him. I think I landed a rifle butt hit on him, weakening him significantly before I killed him with rounds from my rifle. Retreating to the armory now to rearm. Remember, if you have to engage Skulks who come into the base when you are in commander mode, because it's a smaller team and you don't have any base guards around, remember to rearm before you get back in the command station. Otherwise, all too often, you will come out of the command station and find you have no rounds in your magazine, and you can't fight off the alien because you're reloading as soon as you come out. That lurk was hiding in the rafters above West Wing there, and has now come out and has realized where it can go to stay out of range of both sentry guns, very cleverly positioning itself behind those girders that provide vision from node reserves to West Wing. And I've got 2 max in there, so trying to repair that power node, that sentry gun, but I won't be able to because of that lurk, I don't think. No, it has retreated, so we're okay. Cormendi fighting that lurk off. What am I doing? Trying to select something. Oh, I was trying to see if you could repair max with max, but you can't, I don't think. So that didn't work. So ignore that. That was just me playing around in commander mode there. Lurk doing a good job, dropping a bit of gas. Actually, 2 lurks and a gorge now approaching. It might even be 3 lurks, I'm not sure. Now approaching West Wing. So they're making a concerted effort to push back on West Wing, doing a lot of damage to the harvester. I need to do something about this. I'm not sure what I can do. Only Supernorn in the room right now. I've only got 2 sentry guns. None of them able to cover that area. As you can see, it's a 3 versus 4 at the moment with 1 in the ready room. As I said before, it will come up to about a 5v5 later on. And what am I going to do about this? 2 lurks just going to annihilate that extractor. And if we lose that, that's a significant proportion of our carbon flow. And earlier on I was saving carbon so I could build up in West Wing. You will have noticed earlier I had about 50 carbon at some point. Now I've got nowhere near as much, and if I lose this extractor, and the power node is going down as well, this could be very bad. Dropping some health packs for Cormendi. Too late though, the extractor has gone down. That's 15 carbon lost, as I will have to rebuild it. And as well as that, I've lost the income. Multiple hydras up in the room there as well. That's not good because we can't push through there. And the power node has gone down. So what am I going to do here? I am just going to recycle everything. To save that carbon, I am recycling everything. I've already gone and purchased a command facility. I did that earlier. So instead, instead of trying to hold West Wing, I'm just going to turtle up in main base, which is often what Marines have to do because of just the sheer distance between West Wing and Marine start. So the aliens have successfully retaken West Wing. I've recycled the entire base, recovered quite a bit of carbon. And I'm going to spend that carbon on dropping a 2nd infantry portal to assist in defense. I've also bought shotguns. Supernorn pointing out to me we need shotguns NS2HD. Having a bit of trouble placing this infantry portal for some reason. I'm not sure why. And we need shotguns is what he said, and very, very true. I'd totally forgotten. Now that's a good point. Often your commander will forget things. This is not like in, say, StarCraft, when if you forget to do something obvious, as when you're playing StarCraft, your units aren't going to tell you. You're just going to lose the game. Whereas in Natural Section 2, the great thing is your Marines can tell you when you've forgotten to do something. And that can be sometimes a sticky point, because if you have a Marine saying, hey Commander, you're an idiot, you've forgotten to buy shotguns, then obviously that's going to create tension, and it's not going to be good for gameplay, and it's likely it'll kill the team spirit, and you might lose the game because you won't be working effectively together. Supernorm, on the other hand, was really great about it. He was polite. He said, we need shotguns or we're going to lose. He wasn't rough about it, and he didn't call me an idiot or anything. And the point of that is, if your commander does forget something, then be polite about it. And often the commander will be really appreciative that you've reminded him or her, and then you'll be able to get whatever it is he forgot to do, and you'll be able to proceed on with the game and hopefully win it. So keep a good... keep a good rapport going with your commander and your Marines, because if you work with each other instead of becoming confrontational because you reckon one of you is better than the other, then often the whole game can turn out a lot better. That is one of the great things about NS2. It is so personal because it is actually a human commander commanding human units on the ground who have human personalities and human wants and desires and traits. So it's just that whole extra part of a real-time strategy where you actually have to be a good commander in every sense of the word. So the point of that whole speech was be polite to your commander, and he or she should be polite to you, and in return you will probably be much better off for it. Note that I didn't reload my pistol as I got into the command station before. I didn't take my own advice there, and I probably could have killed that lurk. Instead, Sergeant Barlow getting that kill, and if I'd had my pistol loaded when I was inside the command station, I might have been able to kill that lurk. Instead, I was not able to. And that was that. Someone else got the kill, and that lurk could have gone and done a lot more damage if it wasn't for the fact that I had more Marines in the base. Right now, I'm keeping the morale up by saying it's alright. I'm researching advanced armory. I'm going for flamethrowers. I'm building an observatory. Guys, we are not in a bad way. I've still got quite a bit of carbon left over from the base recycling, and I think we have a good chance of winning this game, because it's always demoralizing for a team if you lose an area such as West Wing that you fought really hard to control and the aliens just retake it. Dropping some health and ammo in there. I think I just dropped a sentry gun, did I? What am I doing? I did, and I'm bringing a Mac in to repair the power node. So that was a bit aggressive. I probably shouldn't have done that. I can't see if I've dropped a sentry gun. I'm sorry, because I am watching this on such a tiny little screen with a resolution of about 640 by 480 or something. So if I can repair the power node, that'll be a good move. And if not, well, that was a bad move. One of my Marines going down to Hydras and a lurk in the central access hive there. The aliens have taken the entire map. As I've said before, I believe the resource system is still biased towards aliens at this point in the beta. Oh no, there is a fade on the sentry gun. So I'm jumping out of the command station to try and stop him. That is a crucial sentry gun. Like in one of my earlier tram games, that sentry gun is placed to not defend the entire base, but to assist Marines defending the base. And that is a much more valuable sentry gun than, say, spending 80 carbon on 4 sentry guns at every corner of the room covering each other. Skulks will always find a way to kill sentry guns like that, whereas if you just have one in sort of an obscure corner, like I've put it up on those blue crates, it is able to assist Marines in defending the base rather than defending the base itself. And that way you save carbon and you have effective base defense. Supernor doing an amazing job over there. He has killed a lurk and a skulk, and I'm jumping out to try and assist him so he doesn't go down, realizing it's too far away, and I would be better served, he would be better served by me if I was dropping med packs and ammo packs. I do jump back into the command station, and instead of doing that, because I think he died, no he didn't, he's pushed forward, he's okay, I am researching weapons module for the armory, so soon enough we will be able to get some flamethrower tech out and hopefully push across the map. And upgrading resource production as well. The resource production, of course, upgrading plasma production by 33% per extractor, allowing you to get double the plasma rate if you spend 15 carbon for 3 upgrades on 1 extractor, which is crucial when you're backed into a corner like this and you only have 2 extractors. You need the plasma flow so that your Marines can keep buying shotguns or flamethrowers, as the case may be, to defend the base, because rifles just don't cut it against fades. And they definitely won't cut it against Onos when the Onos arrives. And they're it's even a bit tough to kill lurks with a rifle. So you need those shotguns out and you need that plasma flow. So don't neglect that. And at some point I believe I'll be researching some armor and weapon upgrades as well. I have neglected that so far because I wanted to push the research first. Sergeant Barlow and Supernorn pushing into auxiliary node over here, and hopefully going to be able to kill that harvester. I've asked them to kill the harvester. Sergeant Barlow is harassing the central access hive at the same time, and I'm hoping we can push in here, and I think we will push in here at some point. I really want to take a toehold as we get flamethrowers so we can capitalize on that and push forward. I am going to cut off this part 1 here and look out for part 2 in the near future. I'm not sure where I'll start part 2. I'm not sure how much of this 78-minute game I will bring you. Who knows? I might even bring you the whole thing. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. As usual, if you are enjoying these videos, please subscribe. It means a lot to me when you do. And I'll see you all soon for part 2 of this massive B162 playtest.